Hey everybody, I'm John Bohlinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're reviewing two very cool new instruments by Fender. The band Khruangbin has the Laure signature jazz bass and the Speer Stratocaster, both very cool instruments that are basically a version of the instruments they've been playing since the beginning of this band. Now let's start with Laure's bass. It's a classic vintage white finish jazz bass that has DiMarzio Ultra Jazz pickups in it. Vintage style concentric knobs that give you right there, you've got a volume and a tone for each instrument and no switch. Really a cool setup. They've gone with the custom U neck rosewood fingerboard at a 9.5 radius, 21 jumbo frets. So that's the basic ingredients, but let me just quickly show you some of the tones. Let's start with the neck. Coming in, I had them both on because I love that sound, but let's hear this neck alone. Just a great solid sound. Now what I really love about this, right here, roll the bass down, and you get all this warmth. Bring it down even more. Just a great, very warm, classic, almost upright type tone. Now let's get into the bridge a little bit. Here it is, full on. Roll down that bottom end a bit, roll down that bass. Now hear the combination, that's I think kind of the sweet spot. What I love about it is with very few knobs, no switches, you get all these different tones. There's kind of nothing you can't cover. And the neck is super comfortable. Really like that U shape, 9.5 radius feels really good. And to me, I love the P bass, but the jazz for a guitar player is a more comfortable fit because that neck right down there, that neck, which is a little skinny for bass players, is perfect for guitar players. It feels like a close cousin to guitars. I love that they went with this old school aesthetic with the ashtray there and the cover there. To me, it's a little awkward to play because I like to kind of get my fingers in there, muting it in my palm, but it doesn't seem to slow down Laure at all. She's working around it and it sounds great and it looks great. And it does make for a cool tone. I'll pop off the top of it so you can kind of see what it looks like, see what these pickups look like, but I like that you've got the option of having these or taking them off, whatever your preference is. All right, so I popped them off, a little more comfortable to play for me, and I do like these DiMarzios with that cream color. DiMarzio was kind of doing the double creams when nobody else did, so I love that. And you can notice the tone's a little bit different. So anyway, there's that option for you. Now let's talk about that Strat. So a few years ago, we did a rig rundown on the band, and I thought it was so cool that Laure had one bass on tour, and Mark Speer had one guitar, this guitar. In fact, Mark had one pick that he'd been playing for years. One pick, one guitar, one amp, couple pedals. It was the most minimal rig rundown and sounded so big. So what they did on this guitar, it's a reproduction of his, which was, he bought it in like 2000, early 2000s, brand new, and it's a rerun of a 70s Strat. So ash body, age finish, but here's where it gets interesting. He's over the years with this guitar, he'd made a lot of changes. The most striking are these two DiMarzio pickups. The original Fender pickups were pretty noisy, had a little 60 cycle thing. Put in these DiMarzios that feel a lot, not only are they quiet, but they're a little darker, which worked well for him. So it's the DiMarzio Pro Track. In the middle is a 70s Strat middle pickup. So the other changes that Mark made, he put on a Graphtec saddles, Graphtec string tree, and he went with an all-white aesthetic, which I think looks really striking, particularly with this natural aged ash clear body. The neck is a really comfortable C shape, 7.25 radius, 21 jumbo frets. And the other interesting bit is the wiring. Mark said when he was doing the wiring himself, he made a mistake that he liked. So let me take you through it. So on the neck, that's your neck pickup, sounds pretty standard, but when you get to this position right there, it's out of phase, almost like that Peter Green Strat thing. And although this sound is a little non-conventional, I think the band is a little non-conventional, so it worked really well. It gives you that great just sits in such an interesting place in the mix because it really has got that point to it. So the other sounds are pretty traditional. In fact, if you go over here with these two pickups, that is the classic Strat sound. So I love that you can get these traditional sounds, but get that weirdo setting right there, which is kind of a secret weapon. Because the truth is, this sound and this sound are very similar. You know, this one's a little warmer. That's kind of where I like it the most. A little warmer for the most part, but you don't necessarily need them both. I think the variety is a happy accident that happened when he's wiring it and they kept it. So I love that. So the other sounds, again, pretty traditional Stratty bits. So on the bridge, and then if you want to add a little dirt, for the record, the way I'm recording this, I've got a couple pedals on the ground, and I'm running into my 1964 Fender Pro, miking that with a Roswell Pro Audio, and that's running into Logic. So pretty straight ahead. And the bass, I just ran it direct in, and it sounded great going through a DI straight into an Apollo 8. So, so no tricks there, just straight ahead. And it sounds great. So the middle pickup, just what you expect from a Strat. To me, it's got that great kind of Bonnie Raitt, that sort of Bonnie Raitt tone. So great tone. It's interesting, during the rig rundown, Mark was going through the tones on his Strat, and he got to the neck and he said, yeah, that's that kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan tone. But in the rig rundown, he says, yeah, you get that kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan tone that I hate. Which, first time I heard that, but I get it. His thing is different, but it's so cool that this instrument has. I guess I like it when signature instruments have a player's mark on it, and they sound like what that person is going for, and totally mission accomplished on that. It's a great band, and they sound like themselves, and these instruments are just dead on reproductions of what they're doing. So very cool. So good on you, Fender, Mark, Laure Lee. I love your instruments, very cool. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com, or you can read it in the magazine, have it sent right to your home. In the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff. We'll keep you up to date on all the cool new gear that's out there. Now I want to do a little loop starting with this thing for a playoff.